Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, Hare Krishna, dear devotees, thank you very much for joining. I wanted to seek the good wishes and the blessings of their divine lordships, Shri Radha and Krishna, and Krishna Balaram, Gaunitai, Guru Parampara, Srila Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj. So we continue with our overview of the Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, Chapter 8 today. I wanted to seek your good wishes, your blessings, that we can enter into the nectar of the Bhagavatam. Okay, so Chapter 8, very interesting chapter, as they all are. So this is verse number 46 from that chapter.
Shiraja Vacha Nanda Kim Karot Brahman Shreya Eva Mahodayam Yashoda Cha Mahabhaga Papo Yashya Stanam Hari. Having heard of the great fortune of Mother Yashoda, Parishit Maharaj inquired from Shukdev Goswami, O learned Brahman, Mother Yashoda's breast milk was sucked by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What past auspicious activities did she and Nand Maharaj perform to achieve such perfection in aesthetic love?
Hare Krishna. So this is we've sort of looked at last couple of days ago, I think, how Mother Yashoda is actually an eternal associate of the Lord. She didn't do the tapasya to achieve this status. She's actually always had this status. It's not possible to do tapasya to achieve this sort of status of being a mother and father.
Prabhuji, can I present an Agasura story?
The which, sorry?
Prabhuji, can I present an Agasura story?
Agasura. Are we doing that today? I don't think we're doing it today, right?
No.
I think it's coming up after the Damodar Leela. That's right. It's after the Damodar. You definitely can, yes. But not today, huh? When we come to it, I'll tell you the day before. So today is Krishna showing the universal form within the mouth. This is the title of the chapter. And it also describes the ceremony of the name-giving ceremony to Krishna and Balaram. Describes their wonderful childhood when they were babies, pastime, crawling, playing with the gomatas, eating dirt, which is the point about the universal form. So Nanda Maharaj greets Gargamuni. One day, Vasudev inspired Gargamuni. Gargamuni was the family priest of the Yadus. And he was inspired to go to Nanda Maharaj because there resided Krishna and Balaram. And Vasudev wanted Gargamuni to perform the name-giving ceremony of Krishna and Balaram. So Nanda Maharaj, they received him very well. And they knew the position of Gargamuni, the highly elevated position of Gargamuni. And they asked him for his blessings and also so that he names Krishna and Balaram. Gargamuni reminded Nanda Maharaj that comes, just one second. Nanda Maharaj is looking for the son of Devaki and said that if he performs this ceremony in a very gorgeous way, then everybody will get to know, because they all know that he's the priestly guide of the Yadu dynasty. So Nanda Maharaj and Kamsa would in turn find out that these are actually the sons of Devaki. So Nanda Maharaj then agreed that we can do this ceremony low-key in the cowshed of his house. Of course, it wasn't a small cowshed, it was huge. He had 9 lakh cows. And we'll do it, but they do it without anybody's knowledge. Even his brothers and relatives would not know. So Gargamuni agreed. They performed the name giving because Balaram is the son of Rohini. increases the transcendental bliss of others. Ram means bliss. His name is Ram. And because of his extraordinary strength, he's called Baladev. Balaram is a very nice combination of those two qualities that he possesses. He attracts the Yadus to follow his instructions, and therefore his name is Sankarshan. So it's another name for Baladev. So when they were 1 year, 1 day old, this name-giving ceremony took place. Quite a long time to wait for a name, but that's when it took place. And the Garga Muni also explained to Nanda Maharaj that this child, he has taken different bodily complexions in previous yugas. He was white, red, now he's black. People will call him Krishna. He will have many, many other names and activities due to his different pastimes. So this is a foretelling of what's going to happen. So there was a lesson from this, that the child is so powerful that anyone who will become a devotee of this boy will never be troubled by enemies. So this was again foretold by Garga Muni.
Prabhuji, when I was small, there was also a prediction to me.
What was that?
I only met as Lord Hayagriva.
You what?
I have the knowledge of Lord Krishna, own knowledge of Krishna.
Wow, very good. And it looks like you already have. So well done. So
That prescription became true now.
yeah, it's for sure. So different colors, white, yellow, red, yellow. Let's assume the color of black. Sometimes known as the son of Vasudev, Vasudev. So there's a difference there. Vasudev, Vasudev. Vasudev is Krishna. Vasudev is the father of Krishna.
There would be a line on A if we say Vasudev.
Yes. And Gagamuni also said he's exactly like Narayan. And because of him, the residents Gokul will surpass all difficulties. So Gagamuni knew who this is. And he also warned Nanda Maharaj that many demons will try to kill. So he advised Nanda Maharaj to protect his son very carefully. And then he left. So then baby Krishna enjoys. Sukadeva Goswami next described how the two children enjoyed their childhood pastimes and began to crawl on the ground of Braj with the strength of their hands and knees, played with the cows and calves, crawling in the muddy places created in Braj by cow dung and cow urine. Covered by Braj dust, the babies looked very beautiful. And when they went to their mothers, both Yashoda and Rohini would pick them up with great affection and embrace them. Within the house of Nanda Maharaj, the cowherd ladies would enjoy seeing the pastimes of the babies, Balaram and Krishna. The babies would catch hold of the ends of calves' tails, and the calves would drag them here and there. When the ladies saw these pastimes, they certainly stopped their household activities and laughed and enjoyed the incidents. And every day they would see these two beautiful children, especially Rohini Mata and Yashoda Mai. Krishna and Balaram looked so beautiful that their mothers, Yashoda Mai and Rohini, would stare at them for hours, wondering who they actually were. As they grew, their features would become even more and more beautiful. When they looked at the eyes of Krishna and Balaram, they thought they were like lotus flowers. Their cheeks looked like soft cotton balls. Their teeth looked like pearls. So they were just the most incredible. And every day, when Yashoda Mai and Rohini would look at their children, they would wonder, who is this? Who is this beautiful child? Because his qualities, although already incredible, were just increasing every moment. So the lesson in this pastime is that the Lord is a person, not an ordinary person. He is a supreme person and is extraordinarily beautiful with no comparison. He is not just some bright light, Brahman, but has a dazzling personal form. So this is very important to understand. So this is the pastime of, they used to be really naughty from an early age. So they would catch hold of the calf's tail, and the calf would run, the cows would run around, and they would be dragged here and there, bathed in the dust of Braj. This dust of Braj is so sacred, even Krishna bathes in it. So that every day they would find newer ways to be naughty, and putting Mother Yashoda and Rohini in transcendental anxiety. So you can see from a very young age, they loved playing. Krishna and Balaram loved everyone, especially the cows. And from a young age, they played with calves. Very important to care for cows like Krishna does. This is why every day, at least once a day at minimum, we must remember Gomata. Krishna is always with Gomata. He can't live without Gomata. So what to speak of remembering her? Can't even live without her. Okay, so this is another wonderful picture. Mother Yashoda would enjoy seeing the wonderful, playful pastimes of Krishna, and she would invite her gopi friends to come and enjoy them too. So they would together relish these wonderful pastimes of Krishna. We can also come together and talk about the wonderful pastimes of Krishna. To remember Krishna is bhakti. This is really very fortunate. We're in a very fortunate place where we can remember the Lord. Then the next part of this chapter talks about his naughty activities after he started to walk. Within a short time, both Balaram and Krishna began to walk very easily in Gokul on their legs and began to play with other children. Within a short time, both Balaram and Krishna began to walk. Oh, sorry. The gopis loved to hear about Krishna's activities again and again. And they would approach Mother Yashoda. They would approach her because Krishna has generally been playing some wonderful activities, naughty activities, perhaps in their home. So they would see Krishna, they would be so joyful. But mostly Krishna was with Yashoda Mai. She wouldn't let him out too much. So on the pretext of complaining, they would go really to see Krishna, but they would go to Yashoda Mai and tell her about her son's nefarious activities. These are the gopis. They adored Krishna. And whenever they had the opportunity, they would try to see Krishna. And as we just said, they would go and complain to Krishna, to Yashoda Mai about his activities. And Krishna, he reciprocates our love for him. The more intense our love, the more Krishna reciprocates. So sometimes it's asked, why did Krishna steal the butter from the gopis? Because the gopis wanted him to come and take the butter. Otherwise, he was always enjoying Yashoda Mai's butter and not their butter. So their intense desire was fulfilled when Krishna would come. So many complaints took place, right? And some of these complaints are listed out by Sukadeva Goswami, where the gopis would say, he comes in, he eats our butter, he makes a mess, and then he runs away. Not just him, but his elder brother is with him as well, Balaram. We keep the pots hanging high from the ceiling so that your baby son cannot reach, but still, somehow or other, he manages to reach the butter and eat the butter. We switch off the light sometimes. He comes in the middle of the night. You're thinking he's asleep, but actually he's conducting his nefarious activities. But the jewels which adorn him brightly shine. So even if it's dark, there's light everywhere. So he doesn't put him off. One gopi said to Yashoda Mai, I kept my husband as a guard at the front door But Krishna came, he smiled, and my husband became mesmerized by the smile, and he ran through his feet, came into the home, made a mess, ate the butter, and he ran away before my husband knew what happened. One time, another gopi complained that he would go into, he wouldn't find the pots of butter, so he would go into my child's bedroom. He would pinch my boy, he'd make him cry, and then he would leave. One gopi said, okay, we tied bells to everything so that if Krishna comes, the bells would ring and we'd catch him. So Krishna told the bells, shh, don't make a sound. And they didn't. Until Krishna got to the pot of butter and he was about to eat the butter and the bell suddenly rang. Ding, 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 ding. Krishna said to the bells, what are you doing? Why are you ringing? I told you to shush. And the bells said, well, that's what we do. When you eat, we ring the bell. So we caught him. But he told us, no, we told him you're a thief. And he said, no, you're the thief. This is all mine. And of course, Krishna is telling the truth, or everything belongs to him. One time the gopis caught him and they accused him of being a thief. But he would run away, or he would make some excuse, and somehow he would mesmerize them into letting him go. So one time, again, he didn't find any butter. So he went onto the altar and he even urinated on our altar. So all these wonderful pastimes Krishna would have with the gopis. Krishna performed these naughty pastimes. Why? Why does he steal the butter? He actually doesn't steal the butter. He steals the hearts of his devotees by these charming activities, wonderful charming activities. He has a very nice monkey pet. His favorite one is Dadiloba. And Dadiloba is sometimes sent as the scouting party beforehand to check out if there are any open windows or doors. And if there aren't any, they would somehow try to wrangle themselves into the house. And then the cowherd boys headed by Krishna and Balaram would be let in. So one gopi complained that the monkeys broke in and let Krishna and Balaram in. And they took the pots of butter. They fed the butter to the monkeys. The monkeys were so fed, they were fed right up to their necks. But Krishna, he teased us by saying, look at this makhan of yours. He offered it to a monkey. Here, have some makhan. And the monkey said, no. He said, even the monkeys don't like your rubbish makhan. Of course, the fact he'd already fed them to the hilt anyway. But in this way, the gopis would be teased. And it's interesting how in this pastime, Krishna is feeding the monkey. In the previous pastime, as Ramachandra, he took the service of the monkeys. And in this pastime, he is paying them back by feeding them lots and lots of butter. This is really wonderful reciprocation by the Supreme Lord. Krishna always rewards.
I think Dadiloba.
Yeah, Dadiloba.
I think the monkeys in the army are the monkeys now who are stealing butter.
So he had lots of friends, Gopa friends, and they would assist him with the naughty pastimes. So sometimes when the pots were high up, they would make this pyramid and Krishna would be at the top of it. One time, Krishna was caught red-handed because the gopis, they came in and everybody fled except Krishna was left there hanging by on the butter pots. And the gopis said to him, "We caught you red-handed." And Krishna said, "Well, actually, this is the charming nature of the Supreme Lord." He said, "I was walking past your home and I noticed, well, my mother keeps telling me I'm very short for my age. So I saw your ceilings are very high and you have pots hanging from the ceiling. So I thought, let me climb up onto this pot on the ceiling so that I can increase my height." So then the gopis asked, "Okay, interesting. So how come you got butter in your hands?" "Ah, when I was up here on the ceiling, I saw a big ant go into that pot of butter. I thought, this gopi has spent such wonderful effort making this pot of butter. Let me take this ant out so that it saves the butter." And the gopi said, "Okay, very interesting. Thank you for doing that. But can you explain why there's butter all over your mouth?" Krishna didn't have any answer for that one. So he jumped down and he fled out of the house. So his Gopa friends, they would help him in these pastimes of wonderful, enjoying pastimes. Madhumangal is a chubby Brahmin friend, and he loves ladus. He's always fed ladus. There's Sridham. That's Radharani's brother. He's also very close to Krishna, very close to Krishna. He in fact looks like Srimati Radharani. So sometimes they put gopi clothes, isn't it? Yeah, as Radharani, and do a swap. One time, one of Sunanda's son was caught. Krishna was caught. Krishna was caught in the house of Sunanda. And Sunanda had a son. So Sunanda took Krishna. She forced Krishna to go to Yashodamai, because Yashodamai wouldn't believe anybody anyway, whoever came. She was always saying, no, my son is never naughty. Look at him, he's sitting here so nicely. How can he be naughty? I make the best butter. How can he have somebody else's butter? So she challenged them. If you find him, you catch him and you bring him. So one day, Sunanda, she caught him. She was dragging him to Yashoda's house. And Krishna was begging, "Please don't humiliate me in front of the whole village. You're bringing the family down." He was giving so many excuses, but Sunanda was determined, "No, I'm going to take you." Anyway, she covered his head with cloth, with a sari, with her chundari, because she couldn't take his, his excuses anymore. So anyway, she brought him before Yashodamai, and she said, "I found him. I got him red-handed." "Who have you got?" He was covered, right, at that time with this chundari. And she lifted the chundari without looking at who was there. And she said, "Here he is." Sunanda said to Yashoda, "Your boy is a thief, caught him red-handed." And actually, Yashoda started laughing. And Sunanda was wondering, "Why are you laughing?" And she looked down at the boy and she saw it was her own son. Krishna had transformed himself as Sunanda's son. So she was very embarrassed. And she was going back home with her son, who again turned back to Krishna, and he said, "Next time you do this, you try to drag me to my mother's house, I'll become your husband." So, in this way, he was having fun with the elderly gopis. Then there's Shubhal, is another dear friend. Oh, Shubhal is the one who looked like Radharani. So Shubhal would be the one that they would dress up as Radharani sometimes and swap her. The Sudama, not the Sudama, the poor Sudama Brahman. This is another Sudama. And he would tease Krishna when they would lose in the game of hide and seek. And then there's Kinkini. He would fan Krishna and Balaram when they got tired from playing too much. These are really close Gopas. They're actually, practically speaking, they're no different from Krishna themselves. They're so close. Just like Yashoda Mai did not do tapasya. These Gopas, they don't do tapasya to become Gopas. They're just Gopas. They're like Krishna's body. So we can also remember Krishna's friends by remembering him all the time. When you remember the devotees, the Brijbasis, then Krishna becomes pleased and the Brijbasis also become pleased. Sometimes all the gopis would look at Krishna sitting there, his eyes fearful, so that his mother would not chastise him. And when they saw Krishna's beautiful face, instead of chastising him, they would simply look upon his face and enjoy transcendental bliss. Mother Yashoda would mildly smile at all this fun. She would not want to chastise her blessed transcendental son. He could do no wrong. But in the back of her mind, there was always this feeling that there's something not quite right. Anyway, one day, Krishna's playmates, including Balaram, complained to Krishna. So far, only the gopis would complain to Krishna. But this time, his friends complained to Mother Yashoda. Not just his friends, the elder brother, Balaram. Krishna had eaten dirt, and they told Mother Yashoda. Mother Yashoda, she chastised Krishna, saying to him that normally she didn't get complaints from the Gopas, but this time they're complaining. So there's something seriously wrong here. He was challenged by Mother Yashoda. So while this challenge was taking place, he was talking to Mother Yashoda, but without opening his mouth, because in his mouth was dirt. So he was saying, no, I have not eaten. So how come Balaram is complaining against you? Balaram, you don't know what he does to me. Krishna is saying all this without opening his mouth, but just by eye contact. He's saying to Yashoda Mai, this Balaram, you know, one day he asked me, how come Yashoda Mai is golden colored? Nanda Maharaj is golden colored. I am also Sweta, white. How come you're black? Krishna said, I don't know. Balaram said, I know. I'm wiser than you. He was a few days older, right? One day, he said to Krishna, Nand Maharaj was in the marketplace and he saw you being auctioned. And he thought, oh, this cute little boy, we should protect him. So he bought you in the market. Krishna was shocked. That day, actually, he ran to Mother Yashoda, crying, you're my mother, you're my mother. So he was buying time. He was saying all these things to Mother Yashoda. In the meantime, he was trying to get rid of the dirt in his mouth by swallowing it. And he was saying to Mother Yashoda, I have not eaten all these complaints by my friends. They're all liars. If you think they're truthful, you can look into my mouth. By this time, he cleared the dirt, swallowed it. You can check my mouth out. He opens the mouth and what happens? So before we go there, why did he eat dirt? Mother Earth appeared before him, thanked him for putting his lotus feet on her. But she was sad that she could not offer anything to Krishna. Krishna said, don't worry, I'm so pleased with you. He even ate the dirt, the earth. Also, this is not ordinary dirt. This is Brij dirt, Vrindavan dust. Krishna is showing that this Vrindavan dust is so sacred. Even when we go, we bring Vrindavan dust, we can have a little bit of that if we want, because it's such a sacred, so sacred. Even Krishna himself, Supreme Personality of Godhead, enjoys Vrindavan dust. He became so pleased with the humility of Mother Earth. And he becomes pleased with the humility of the devotee, because they're always doing great service for everyone. Mother Earth is doing so much service, yet they remain humble and don't become proud. So then he reciprocates with those devotees. So that's a really great mood, always in the service mood, not thinking that, yes, I'm doing this, I'm doing that for this person, that person. There's two rules Guru Maharaj used to say to us. If you do something good for somebody, forget it. If somebody does bad to you, forget that as well. If you follow those two rules, you'll always be happy. So, to honor Bhumi Devi and the dust of Vrindavan, Krishna ate earth. Not just once. We know he ate it before as well. In the last chapter, we came across that. Oh, no, we didn't. Sorry. We didn't. Sorry. When did he eat dirt again? Anybody remember? Braj dust. Does anybody remember when he ate again?
I don't know.
Anybody else?
Dandat Pranam Prabhu, when Gopi, they're giving dust for the Narada, Krishna get headache.
Okay, interesting. I think that he sprinkled over his head, didn't he? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I don't
Then
think.
only his headache was gone.
Yeah.
All the relatives of Krishna and Dwaraka didn't accept that, because they will go to hell if we
That's
do
right.
that.
But I don't think he ate it at that time. When did he eat this Braj dust again? I can tell you when, right? When Lord Brahma came and he stole the calves and the gopas, at that time, Krishna, he extended himself, he expanded himself into all the gopas and also the calves. So as calves, he was eating Braj dust. So he ate a lot of Braj dust at that time. So,
Coffee dust, I heard.
Yeah.
Cow-
So she asked Krishna, and he denied it. He finally opened his mouth and he saw within Yashoda Mai the universal form of the Lord. Everything was there within his mouth. She lost her motherly affection. She began to pray, Krishna, who are you? Oh, your amazing personality. Of course, Krishna didn't want that mood to persist because she would have lost her motherly dealings with Krishna. So he again covered her with his special Maya, Yoga Maya, the internal spiritual Maya, not the material Maya. And she forgot what she had seen so that she could again treat Krishna as her darling son. And the lesson from that is that Krishna doesn't always like to be treated as God. In fact, he doesn't like to be treated as God at all. He loves the relations he has with his special devotees. So for us, we have that access to become this special devotee of the Lord. At least we can aspire, a humble but special devotee of the Lord. We can aspire to be there, become close to the Lord somehow or other. Or can only have.
Even Akrura also rolled on the dust of Vrindavan when he came from Mathura to Vrindavan. So he is also showing that Vrindavan
Dust is so important.
is
Good.
so important.
Good. But the idea is that we can only become close to Krishna if we are close to somebody who's close to Krishna.
I'm again planning to go to Vrindavan.
Okay, good. So we can only become close to Krishna if we are close with somebody who's close to Krishna. So the Guru is close to Krishna. The Brijbasis are close to Krishna. So if we please the Guru, we please the Brijbasis, then we will have a chance to become close to Krishna as well. This is quite interesting. When Yashoda Mai asked Krishna, did you eat dirt? And he replied, no, but he did eat dirt. How can the absolute truth lie? Well, he can't, because if he wants, he can lie, but it's not a lie. Krishna is the absolute truth. So this is really interesting. whatever he says is the absolute truth, even if it may not look manifest like that, but he is the absolute truth. So if he said he hasn't eaten dirt, he hasn't eaten dirt. He's honored dirt. He's honored the earth, right?
Yeah, all the 33 crores of demigods are within the earth.
So explain that.
So basically, you know, he was trying to work out how can he reciprocate the love that to the demigods and honor them. So he thought the only way I can do that is to have this dirt, because all the demigods actually are part of Bhumi Devi.
Oh, interesting. This is a really nice picture from Mother Yashoda, Krishna, baby Krishna. Okay, Parikshit Maharaj asked, so this was the verse that we read, what past auspicious activities did she and Nanda Maharaj perform to achieve such perfection in ecstatic love? Sometimes she assumed the position of a chastising mother, and at the next moment, she was overwhelmed with material love, maternal love. Sukadeva Goswami praised the fortune of Mother Yashoda and Nanda, and he gave the history. Nanda and Yashoda were formerly Dona and Dara. By the order of Brahma, they came to this earth, and they had the Supreme Personality of Godhead as their son. But we know the Acharyas explain that actually these two devatas, Drona and Dara, they performed this tapasya, and Brahma gave them the blessing that they will become mother and father of Krishna. But actually, Nanda and Yashoda had already appeared, and Drona and Dara merged into Nanda and Yashoda. So Nanda and Yashoda are always the mother and father of Krishna. They don't have to do tapasya. You can't do tapasya to have such a exalted position of service to the Lord. You're already that person. You're already in that position. So Drona and Dara, they got the fulfilled. They came. Nanda incarnated as Drona and Yashoda as Dara, as devatas. They got the boon. Then they merged back again. Srila Prabhupada states in 10.8.48, so chapter 8, which we're doing, 48 text, he says in the purport, when Krishna descends anywhere, he's accompanied by his own associates. See, own associates. These associates are not ordinary living beings. Krishna's pastimes are eternal. When he descends, he comes with his associates. Therefore, Nanda and Mother Yashoda are eternal father and mother of Krishna. This means that whenever Krishna descends, Nanda and Yashoda, as well as Vasudeva and Devaki, also descend as the Lord's father and mother. Their personalities are expansions of Krishna's personal body. They're not ordinary living beings. And further in the purport to the next verse, 49, before Krishna's appearance, Drona and Dara appeared in order to become his mother and father. It is they who appeared as Nanda Maharaj and his wife Yashoda. In other words, it is not possible for sadhana siddha, living being, to become mother and father of Krishna. For Krishna's father and mother are already designated. Further in the purport to the next verse, 50th verse, Prabhupada says, because whenever Krishna appears on this earth, he superficially needs a mother and father. Drona and Dara, his eternal mother and father, as Nanda and Yashoda, appeared on earth before Krishna as Nanda and Yashoda. In contrast to Sutapa and Prishni. So this is he's comparing that Sutapa and Prishni. They were ordinary living entities, great ordinary living. Sutapa and Prishni underwent severe penances to become Krishna's father. And not Krishna's father, they were father and mother of Prishnigarb, I think it was. They did not, Yashoda and Nanda did not undergo severe penances or austerity to become mother and father of Krishna. This is the difference between Nitya Siddha and Sadhana Siddha. Nitya Siddha means they are eternally liberated. And I just added this bit. This is roughly the time when, anybody know who this is?
Radha.
Yes, well done. Roughly the time when Yashoda Mai and Nanda Maharaj.
Cute Radha and Krishna.
took baby Krishna to see Radha, she wouldn't open her eyes. She'd made a vow, I'll only open my eyes if you come before me. This was in Golok, before they descended. And the arrangement was made. Yashoda Maya and Nanda went to the place of Rishabhanu in Yavat, yeah, and Kirtida. And Krishna crawled over to Radharani's cradle and looked inside. And at that very moment, Radharani opened her eyes, and it was love at first sight. Of course, it's not first sight. So, but this is how Radharani and Krishna played their wonderful pastimes. And fantastic lesson there. One thing we should do every morning is, in the eyes of our heart, look at Krishna through the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. So when we're chanting first thing in the morning,
I look, as I morning wake up, I see Krishna's photo.
that's good. And chant his names with,
Yes, I chant his names.
yeah, with feeling, with heart. And that is really seeing Krishna. You can't see him through the eyes, we can see him through the heart. It's a heart-to-heart relationship. Any questions, any comments before we move on to the instructions?
What a beautiful story, Prabhuji.
Amazing. It's amazing.
Amazing. It's just, and we have got such a beautiful photographs.
Yeah. It took me all night to paint them.
I'm sure. Sure, done by Mataji. You sleep.
Yeah, I slept. That's right. Yeah. She did the painting.
And other thing is, after Krishna leaves Vrindavan, it must be very sad scenario. I know it's all his pastimes. That this left behind Nand Baba, Yashoda Maya, all these gopis, and I wonder how they lived. It's just a thought.
It was dreadful.
Yeah.
Dreadful.
Isn't it?
Yeah, we'll come to that later.
We will. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. There's quite a few chapters on that side.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Just the thought crossed my mind, Krishna Balram in their young days. Was it revealed to Balaram about the Supreme Personality, or because Balaram was the expansion, he knew already that he was Krishna?
Yeah, more or less he knew.
He knew.
Yeah.
So he knew, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, because every time Krishna would do something, he would know. Or if the demons came, he would know that Krishna would be okay. He did not need to go and things like that.
So really speaking, when Balaram was telling off about the mouth mud, he was just having this leela.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
It was just enhancing the pastime, because so far, like all the gopis had complained, and now Yashoda Mai is seeing, whoa, Balaram's complaining against you. So it was just enhancing that loving maternal relationship between Yashoda and Krishna.
Yeah, it sounds so sweet, like it's like telling off your younger sibling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
But sometimes Krishna would even hide things from Balaram. For example, when he expanded himself as the calves,
stole them.
Yeah, the gopas. Balaram didn't know. But what Balaram saw was that the gopis were feeling so much love for their children, and the cows were feeling so much love for the calves. So he asked Krishna, what's going on? How come there's so much affection between these personalities? And then Krishna revealed, it's me. So
yeah, well, miracles are thank you. Hare
he
Krishna.
didn't reveal himself completely. This is the beauty of Krishna. This is amazing. Okay, so let's go to
Instruction.
yeah, Madhusudan Prabhu. Great.
So, Haribol, Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Jai Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. So yeah, these pastimes are amazing. Actually, it's and it actually reflects how Vedic culture and civilization used to be. Or like Vasudeva and Devaki are from the Kshatriya side, and then Nanda Maharaj and they're from Vaishyas, and as Vaishyas, they still have to pay tax as such to Khans, and they just abide by like a society would run, like one ashram system would run. And then these childhood pastimes are amazing. So Srila Prabhupada mentions in the purport that one Brahmin devotee says, Shrutim apare, smritim itare, bharatam anya bhajantu bhava bhita, aham tha nandan vande yashyalinde param brahma. So he said, let others, fearing material existence, worship the Vedas, the Vedic supplementary Puranas, and the Mahabharats, but I shall worship Nanda Maharaj, in whose courtyard the Supreme Brahman is crawling. So for a highly exalted devotee, Kaivalya, merging into the existence of the Supreme, appears no better than hell, Narkayate, which means Nark means hell, isn't it? So, but here, one can simply think of the crawling of Krishna and Balaram in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj and always merge in transcendental happiness. As long as one is absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna Leela, especially Krishna's childhood pastimes, as Parikshit Maharaj also desired to be, then one is always merged in actual Kaivalya. So, if we also absorb ourselves in thoughts of Krishna's childhood pastimes, like, why this interaction between Balaram and Krishna, and Balaram complaining and to Yasodamaya, and then Krishna is trying to say, you're trying to get me into trouble. And so these little pastimes, interactions that, then we are also like in a Kaivalya kind of bhav as such. So we're not seeking any kind of liberations, but this is different, so this is how this Brahman devotees, Prabhupada mentions that. So this is the mood in which you're also going through these pastimes and mentioning all the different leelas from this chapter, which is nice and interesting, and the way you're saying it also makes it interesting. So thank you, Hari Bol.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Anybody, any questions, any comments? Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, chapter 8 ki jai, Canto 10 ki jai. Hare Krishna.